Hello and welcome to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, where we share everyday stories with you, everyday women. Are you ready to hear heart-to-heart key issues that we all face, no matter where we are in the world? So grab your cup of tea and let's welcome your host, author, international speaker, reinvention strategist, and woman that's full of faith in God and mankind.
Hello, people. This is me, Dr. Z. Welcome to A Cup of Tea. Yes, with me, Dr. Z. Welcome. Can you imagine? Episode 8. We started on the 8th of December, and today is the 26th of January, a new year as well. And, one of the things I've realized, I've had, the last couple of weeks have been really challenging in my personal life. And I'll talk about that some other time in the future. But like we keep moving, we keep going forward. And one of the things I've learned about the last couple of weeks in particular is the meaning of belonging. We all want to belong in our families, in our groups, in our friends. And if you're listening to this right now, it's really important that you find your tribe, you find your country, you find your friends, you find your group, your support network, to have them all around you, because we all want to belong. Don't be deceived when people say, oh, I don't care if I have no friends, I have no family. Everyone wants to have someone or somewhere that they belong to. So tonight we're going to be speaking about belonging, where, home is wherever it is you make. It could be your country, wherever it is that you're from, your nationality. It could be wherever you've set down your roots. But it's all about finding a place where you belong, where you find your tribe, your group, your friends, your family, and you build a new life for yourself. So today we're going to be talking about belonging and how you can cultivate a life in a new country, a new land, abroad. You can, realize your dreams. And I have an amazing, phenomenal, fantastic guest with me tonight. She can hear me in the green room. And she's, someone I've known for a great number of years. I won't tell you how long, as you know how old I am and how old she is. But before I introduce her to you, I'm going to read a little bit about her. She's really amazing. She's absolutely hilarious. And you'll probably agree as well. And I'm going to read a little bit about her just to frame tonight's discussion. And I can see you, if you are wherever it is that you're tuning in from, whatever platform. We're streaming live on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, my 2 Facebook pages, on YouTube, anywhere you find, I'm probably somewhere. So feel free to put your questions, your answers, your comments. I will see them here and I'll make sure that I read them out. So wherever you are, I'm just waving. Welcome. Now, let me read a little bit about this amazing, phenomenal, everyday woman. Remember, this is A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, where we share stories about everyday women, just like me and just like you, all over the world, doing extraordinary things. And they have extraordinary stories. So let's go. Right. Now, here we are. Oh, well, it would be useful if I'm looking at the right. I'm looking at the wrong place. Okay, give me a few seconds. This is so hilarious. Well, in the meantime, tell me, if you can put it in the chat. How has your week been so far, while I bring up this amazing story, amazing bio from, I normally look at everything on my WhatsApp, and not everyone uses WhatsApp, or not as voraciously as I do. I should be looking at the screen, looking at you. You're wondering, who's she looking at? I'm on my phone looking for what I need to be looking for. Right, fantastic. Right, here goes. Now, this amazing person I'm telling you about, let me tell you a little bit about her. Now, when I asked her to send me her bio, this is absolutely phenomenal. Superpower organization. She belongs to a superpower organization. Her learned skill is the magic of listening. She does listen, I can tell you. The magic of listening. What does she like? She loves taking photos. What does she absolutely detest? She dislikes photos of herself. Now you can imagine how big a challenge it was to get even one picture to put on the poster. Now, what are the things that she needs? She said, she's an everyday woman just like you and me, and she needs to believe in herself. You know, some of you might be listening to this right now. You're like, yeah, I can identify with that. People say that I'm amazing, I'm phenomenal, but I need to believe in myself. You see, this woman, this superpower woman, this extraordinary woman, this everyday woman, she has admitted to herself and to all of us, or in internet world, that she needs to believe more in herself. What is she working on? She's working on balancing between the ease and perfection. Oh my days, this woman is a perfectionist, I can tell you. She also is she's got a PG certificate, or she's working on a PG postgraduate certificate in coaching with the International Coaching Federation. What does she want to do? She wants to get over the menopause. I bet many of you are listening to this right now. You're saying, oh my days, that is me as well. I want to get over and be done with it because it's driving me crazy on a good day. That's those her exact words. What does she love? She loves having a giggle, and I hope tonight you'll have one or two or three or four or five giggles with us. She likes bringing out the laughter in others. She really does do that. And really, in a nutshell, she calls herself a fortunate, extremely fortunate and lively individual. She currently lives and works in Brussels. She navigates time and working in Brussels with the constraints of work, with a coaching course, with boxing. Every time I call her, she's telling me, Zena, you can't speak to me now. I'm going for my boxing class. She likes spending quality time with her family and friends. She manages 2 properties around the world, and she likes saying yes to everything within reason. And it's her 50th year on this planet. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce and bring into from the green room my amazing, phenomenal, incredible, funny, fantastic, straight-laced, I like to call her, I should say, Zena, you didn't really say that. Straight-laced, funny, competitive, beautiful, beautiful heart, loyal, a beautiful, beautiful soul, the amazing, phenomenal Sophia Reed, MBA.
Yay! Thank you so much. Sorry, I could just hear like all the applause. Yay!
And
Everyone, hi,
actually, hi, darling. I have got a lovely applause for you, actually, because I am so, so grateful that you are on the show. So let's see if I can find my applause, and I can't. Okay, that will be for another day. Anyway, you've got mine.
Yay. Thank you for inviting me on your podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you. We've known each other for many years. So I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm not saying a word. So I really appreciate being with you this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so, so much. You know, the theme, as always, is, everyday women like yourself, like myself, who are doing extraordinary things around the world. And people might be listening and thinking, oh, it's so easy for you to say, Dr. Z, it's easy for you to say, Sophia, but an everyday woman is just like you and me. And I just want to, so they don't take it from me, I want to ask you, I'm not going to say from the horse's mouth because you're not a horse, but I'm going to ask you, what do you, pardon my manners, would you like a cup of tea?
I was going to say, Dr. Z, cup of tea, man. Actually, I don't even need tea. I just need water. Hot water is great. So I don't even need the tea bag, darling.
All right. I've just done an Earl Grey, but what I'll do is get the other tea. I've got 2 teapots that look the same. So I've got some.
See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Where's my cup? There's my cup. Sort it out.
Got it, Cole. I can't see your cup. Ooh,
there you go.
Yes,
there you go.
Ooh,
Yep, sorted.
excellent.
Thank you, darling.
Ooh,
Thank
good,
you.
Good. I'm having Earl Grey today.
Sorry. That was so bad. I forgot I'm online. I'm so sorry.
We're at home. Feel at home. Feel at home.
It really is. It really is. I really do.
Ooh, lovely. Earl Grey, no sugar, no milk. I never used to be like that. I just want to know what's written on your cup.
Oh, it says, I do not know how to pronounce it. It's Hygge. I don't know how the Danes pronounce it. But what happened was, and we'll get into this later, but I was in Denmark for a long week of work, and I saw this word everywhere. I was like, what does that mean? And I kept asking, it's like, it means comfort and coziness and yeah. So
Oh,
for me, when I get back on a Saturday afternoon from doing what I need to do, and I can sit on the sofa with the duvet and cushions and pillows and just let Netflix watch me while I sleep. That to me is like,
you and me both.
that's good, that's good. Or even when I get into like a nice cool bed after a long day, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's the feeling. Yeah, it's the
I like
feeling.
that. I
Mm.
like that feeling. So Hygge, Hygge, Hygge. I like that. So it
Bigger, but I don't know how they say. I can't remember. I honestly can't
comfort.
remember.
I like that. I like
Comfort.
that.
It's
And
coziness.
coziness. I love that. And that really leads on to the next question that I was trying to ask, and I got carried away. Is, in your opinion, because I know that everyone says, okay, Zena, you're talking about everyday women from around the world. What does that mean? What does that mean? And so, just okay, question and answers. No, just moving up a bit. What does that mean in your opinion?
Everydayness.
Yeah, everyday women,
Everydayness.
everydayness. I like that.
Everydayness.
I like that.
Um,
I like that.
um, for me, it means I still
Oh,
struggle to get out of bed in the morning.
I can see Elaine. Hello, Elaine. Hello, hello, hello. There's a LinkedIn user here. I don't know your name, but hello as well. Hello, Elaine Williams. Love you loads. Hello, Dion. Ooh, yes, this week has been a madness. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. But we're here, so we bless God. Yeah, sorry. So everyday women, you said it means everydayness.
Everydayness. So, I mean, there are some mornings I can jump out of bed. There are some mornings like, oh, please, not today. I can't. I can't do it. To me, that's an everyday thing. Um, it's still having to go to work. It's still struggling with the menopause on a daily basis. Doesn't matter what drugs are out there. I swear, if this was a men's problem, it'd be gone.
Yes,
Anywho,
absolutely.
so it's struggling with that, but it's also keeping myself mentally in tune with myself. And I
Yeah.
know that sounds really wishy-washy, but it's doing what's right for you. And I know that sounds really easy, but it's learning to listen to yourself. And it's so important. Especially now, I remember during the pandemic, I did no exercise, no nothing. I was just working like a Trojan. And I knew I should do exercise. There's that word should, but I didn't. And I was feeling lower and lower and lower. And now I'm doing some form of exercise 3, 4 times a week. And I feel so much better. It doesn't matter what else is going on. Don't get me wrong. Work is not a bunch of roses. Life is not a bunch of roses. But as long as I can go do boxing, go to the gym, I am good. Find your time every day to do something that is good for you, only for you. I know I'm fortunate in so very many ways. I don't have my own children. I don't have a husband. I don't have a partner. So my time is my time. But so many people can call into my time, and I can be split into 10 million different ways anyway. Carving out my me time is very important, very important. And for me, that's spending time with myself, by myself, and just chilling out, or it's going to the gym. And just by the time I get there and I finish, my brain is literally blank. You can ask me what my name is, and I'd have to think, but it's so important. Clear your brains.
You
It's
know,
really
I,
important.
I'm looking at the chat here, and Elaine Williams, I think she's watching via LinkedIn. She's saying same here, and it's so true. You know, life as a grown-up, where also, you're always going to have all sorts of things come at you, and you have to, sometimes you're not prepared, but you still have to find your space, that space that is yours. This isn't a Christian program, but I just want to take some, some sameness or some similarities with Jesus, where it was just getting too much for him and he had to go across the other side and spend some time alone. And we just need to know what works for us. For some of us, no names calling, it's boxing.
Oh yeah, do have a boxing. Yeah, love it.
For some of us, it's shop, whatever it is. Find that space for yourself that you can just kind of deflate, because obviously sometimes life gets you so stretched like a balloon, so you blow, and it's so stretched. You're stretched with family issues, personal issues, work issues, money issues, financial health, whatever it is, all sorts of issues, and you just feel as if you've been pulled in different directions. Whether you have a family or not, you just feel stretched, because what it is that the less you have, or the more people think you have of something, they will always be coming. So it could be you might have money and people will keep on coming because they think you have so much money. It could be that you have so much love to give, they keep coming to you. Whatever it is, people will always, because that's the nature of life. But you still need to ensure that you have a place where you can deflate that stretched balloon and kind of take refuge in yourself. And like you said, the name on your cup, comfort, your comfy place, your comfort place. I absolutely love that. Now let's go right into the show, because I can, me, I can take this on a different direction altogether. And I've told people that we're talking about how to cultivate an extraordinary life abroad. And the reason why I feel you are the best person to speak about this, even though many of us are in different countries and lived in different countries, but many of us have lived, for instance, for those of us that live in England, we've lived in England for years. We were born in England, or we've lived in England, so that's home. But sometimes you can be in England or in America or in Jamaica or Nigeria, wherever it is that you're from, China or wherever, and you decide to uproot yourself. And sometimes we uproot ourselves and go to other parts of the country. I was speaking to my younger sister recently about something, a family matter, and we were talking about, she currently lives in Austin, and she was saying, well, Austin, even though they've lived there for many years, they've lived in so many different places in America. So there's no place that is really a place that you call home. Whereas for us in England, for all of us around the world, for my family, England is like home. So talking about that, I know you, and I know that England is home, but I know that you've traveled all over the world, and you've lived in all over the world, and you have worked in all over the world. So you're not like me. I like traveling. I go on holidays and come back. But you actually go on holidays and live there and work there. So tell me a little bit about that. Let's start with where you currently live, and the kind of challenges you've had living there and making a life for yourself.
In some ways, living and working in Belgium is, I think it's the easiest place, but it's also the most challenging. It's the land of bureaucracy, on another level, which drives me up the wall. I think moving here, how do I put this? It wasn't so, because I was used to it, because this is the third country I've lived in for a long time. So it wasn't starting all over again. It was starting from experience. This was my starting experience. So I knew what I had to do. I had to find a nice place to live that was a 20-minute walk from work. I knew that I had to make friends because I knew nobody here, but that wasn't new. But first I had to get to grips with the job. That's what I had to do first, because that's why I was here. No job, I have to go back to the UK. And at the moment, I see going back to the UK as a punishment, because I don't know.
Okay. Elaine, you can hear that. Okay, what should we do? We need to look for somewhere.
No, to work. I see it as a.
I get it.
Okay, because I found that, I mean, okay, so you asked me for what was easy, what was difficult. So easy, moving here, I mean, that was easy. Get in the car, pack the car, get in the car, drive, get here. Sat nav's great, works. So that was easy. It took me, I think, around 5 or 6 months before I really had a friend. Because when you're working, a lot of the people that you work with have families, so their lives are, I was about to say restricted, but that's not the right word. Their lives are built around their family. That's what I mean. So it means after work, I'm pretty much on my own. I'm just going home. Quite boring. Okay, fine. But you have to do that for a while to get to grips with where you are, what your surroundings are, etc., etc. So you'll take yourself off for walks, go and circumnavigate your neighborhood. Trust me, there are still places in Brussels that I've been to. I was like, not been here yet. Okay, fine. So that takes time. You have to get to learn how shopping works. So, for example, I'm used to being in the UK where shops are open 24/7. Sundays, great. So I finish all my work on the Friday evening, and Saturday I'm sort of like at the gym, sitting down, watching Netflix, relaxing, thinking, yeah, Sunday I'll go do my grocery shopping. Go down the road Sunday, every single shop is closed. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. So then I have to adjust. And I think, right, if I have to go back to the routine now of doing all of my shopping, washing on the weekend, then I want Friday afternoons off. But I can't have every Friday afternoon off. So I'll have every other Friday afternoon off. So it's about creating your own balance. And I tell you what, it's really about finding a boss and a team that get you.
Yes.
That is so important, so important. And I think if it weren't for those guys at work, I don't think I'd still be here. They're like, we're like our own little family. We've got our own little quirks, personalities, etc., etc. But when we get together, it is a giggle. It really is funny. So I really enjoy my work. So when I say it's everydayness and the challenges and the easiness of it, it's a very, very long time ago. I can't remember who sings the song, but life is what you make it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I think, I don't know, it's not to say that every day is easy, because some days at work, especially this year, I think myself and pretty much most of my team, we've been expressing a certain amount of expletives every single day. So it's not that it's easy. It's not easy. It's more of, do you know what? It's hard, but it's not going to be like this forever. It will calm down soon. It will calm down soon. So, I mean, starting with Brussels is difficult because there haven't been as many difficulties as I've experienced before. This was the easy one. This was the easy one, to the extent now that when you say, okay, England is home, yes, England is home, but I feel just as at home here.
Yes.
Just as at home here. I have my own little crew. And not even I've just seen a question, do I feel a lot of barriers? No, it's multicultural, it's multilingual. I mean, I can speak French, but if I don't want to because I am really tired and I can't do it, then I don't. And I'll either speak French really, really slowly and use my basic language, or I'll just speak English and they'll say, yeah, I understand you, it's no problem. So that's okay. So barriers such as language, not really. I mean, I'd love to be able to speak French fluently so that I could speak French at work more. That would be great. But as I've been told, practice. So barriers, so that's a language. The racism, yes, I've experienced it, but in this country, not as bad as previous countries. So I can deal with it. I'm like, do you know what? That sounds like a you problem. I'm moving on. And that's it. I just can't. I haven't got time. I haven't got
Mm,
time.
mm,
Life is short. I am shorter.
mm.
So
She really is short, darling. I'm not laughing at her. She's
I'm tiny.
I could resist that. Sorry.
My niece calls me a little human.
I can imagine you told me and you know
Yeah, little. Yeah, I'm just
uh,
tiny. But yeah, so I mean, it's home, but it's home for as long as the job is here. That's
mm,
how it,
mm, mm. I mean, I like the way, and I will touch on it because you've already alluded to other countries and you know the challenges and how being Elaine's laughing, being you know being in Brussels, even though you weren't starting again, you were starting from experience because you've lived in other countries and you've gone through the challenges. And I remember when I was, you know, I didn't really share too much publicity about today's show and even last week's show because of you know things that are going on at home and which you know as they unfold. I mean, it's not for now. It's not to talk about now, but because it doesn't just involve me. But as they unfold, people will get to know. But one of the things you know that I have said, which is really important, and I said this at the beginning, is belonging. Belonging is really, really, and you've really shown. And what's so funny, when we were in the green room, for those of you listening, and when if you have the opportunity of coming on the show, I don't do scripts, I don't send questions. We just talk. We have a topic and we talk. And when we were talking about this, we were talking about, you know, belonging and all that. But what's come out here is why it's important for us to understand that belonging is really an invisible thread, and it's a thread that you make yourself. You have to be intentional about this. You know, you can't, you know, you can hear what Sophia said when she went to Brussels. She knew two things: she needed to make friends and she needed to understand her job. In fact, she needed to understand her job even more importantly because she couldn't understand her job. There'll be, you know, there's no need making friends. And then she needed, third thing, she needed to find a place to live. So there are three things. And this is the invisible thread that you make for yourself. It's like you weave a thread. You know, for those of you, I don't know, I'm not really good with my hands in that way. I'm good with my mouth, as you can tell. But you know, those that know how to kind of weave and knit and all that, you know, that didn't come out well, I know. But those, sorry, but those
Stop
how
it.
how to weave. You know, it's just like maybe when you know do braids in your hair, you weave a thread. So you weave an invisible thread, you know, belonging. It's like a fabric of life. You know, the world is full of differences. You know, we've got different races, different faces, we've got different tribes, different journeys, but you find a place, you find a group of people that become your tribe. And when you were saying that, Sophia, we've had this discussion loads of times when we weren't even talking about this, about, you know, the people that you work with, you know, and how they get you. In life, we need the right family, friends, support network that get us number one when we're being silly so they can kick us up the butt, but also when we need that support, that comfort, that coziness, that they'll be the right people to, you know, comfort you, strengthen you, and push you forward. And that's really, really important. And that's what all belonging talks about. And so I'm going to touch on this again because I know you've also lived in Prague, which is in Czech Republic. Got that right? Yes, thank God. Well, I don't want to be a disgrace of this big doctor before my name, and I don't know where Prague is. You know, Prague in Czech Republic. I know you've worked. I know you've also worked in Scotland, or was it Wales? I can't remember. One of them.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's start with Prague.
Oh. Prague was the hard one. This was hard. So how did Prague come about? I'll haha. So what happened is I got into a car accident that I should not have walked away from. And after that, I think it's a couple of days after, I thought, what am I doing with my life? I am not happy. I want to do something different. I want to do something that makes a difference to other people. It's like what? It's like, I know I want to leave this country and I want to go and learn how to teach English so that I can teach English. So that's the perfectionism coming in. I can't teach my own language. I can speak it, don't know what it means. Anywho, so so I literally got a map of Europe because I knew I didn't want to leave Europe. And I got a map of Europe and I closed my eyes, did this, and it landed on the Czech Republic. I knew nothing about the Czech Republic at all, but that's where I was going. And see, when I say I just picked myself up and 6 months later, there I was. It was a lot of organization. Remember, one of my superpowers is organization. That is my superpower. So I knew that at my contract, I had to give in notice. I had to give notice in the flat where I was. I had to get all my stuff back down to London. I had to, I couldn't bring the car with me, so I had to sell that. And I could go with one suitcase because FleasyJet, that's how, sorry, EasyJet, FleasyJet, SleazyJet, call them what you like. One suitcase, 23 kilos, that's it. So I went to Prague with one suitcase. Now, this was the hardest thing because I did no research on the country. I didn't know a thing. All I knew was there was a course waiting for me for 4 weeks. So I'd go back to school with lots of other students, learn how to speak and teach my own language in terms of all the grammatical points, etc., etc. And I kept saying to myself, I must have been sick the day I was taught English in school because what? Anyway, the whole time. But finished the class and I was very, very happy with that. My teachers were brilliant. They were my saving graces. And I'll tell you why. So I get off the plane from Gatwick, I think it was Gatwick, from Gatwick to Czech Republic, and I know I have to take the metro to where the flat is. So I'm there with my bits of paper. It's like, yeah, cannot speak a word of Czech, cannot speak a word. So I get onto the metro and I see my stop, and I was like, yeah, it's time for me to get off. So I got off onto the platform and I'm like, where's the exit? What's the word for exit? And the panic started to set in. And I thought, Soph, you're here on your own. You cannot panic because there is nobody here to help you. You can deal with this. What are we going to do? Follow the crowd. Okay. That was how I found the exit at the metro station. There was no exit in green. It was the word in yellow, Vistop. And I'm like, what? Okay, fine. Splendid. So I met the person who was going to let me into the flat. That was all fine. And I was there for the weekend, found out where the shops were, found out that I had a very good exchange rate for the pound. I was like, result. And then I went to school on Monday morning. And this is where I got my first shock because I was out on Monday morning. I wasn't in the center of Prague. I wasn't in the villages either, but I was just far enough outside from the center where I'd be walking down the street and people would be just looking at me. And I'd keep walking. I'm thinking, why are people looking at me? Don't get it. All right, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. So got to school and my teachers were both English and one was from Yorkshire, spoke with a really good Yorkshire accent. So we had loads of giggles. Oh, it was funny. It was really funny. It's like one day he said to me, oh, okay, we're going to do the present perfect tomorrow. I was like, what's that? And he goes, and he just looked at me. He's like, okay, tell me what countries you've been to. So I've been here, I've been to Canada, I've been to Cuba, he goes, so you're talking in the present perfect. It's like, yeah, but I've never heard of it. And he goes, there you are, you just used it again. So it was just really funny until I learned how the present perfect worked. No idea. Okay. So then I built up the courage to ask him, Pete, why are people staring at me? So you're from the UK, yeah? Yeah. London, yeah? Yes. Okay. Multicultural, yes? Yeah. These people have probably never seen a black person in their lives except on TV. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
That was harsh because
trust the Yorkshire, man. You know, Yorkshire people are very direct,
frank, tell you how it is.
To the point, tell you as it is. No beating around the bush, maybe.
Pointless.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
Yeah.
So I had to understand racism on a different level. I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. But during the time I was at school, I made some really good friends, really good friends. And I think I was one of the oldest in the class because I was already in my early 30s and everyone else was in their 20s. And I was like, what is this? I was like, so embrace it because you didn't really have that much fun in your 20s in terms of like going out and doing stuff. You were studying and working. Do it. So this was where, I mean, we'd all go teaching on a Monday to Friday, I was teaching, but again, superpower organization. I wasn't going here, there, here, there. No, 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 no. Prague has 3 lines, 3 metro lines, red, yellow, green. So one day I was on the green line, one day I was on the red line, one day I was on the yellow line. Finished. End of stories. So that's how I did it. I thought I'm not going from here to that. No, 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 no. I'm too old. I was too old back then. Anyway, so so it was. I mean, on a Friday evening.
Do you want a top up? Sorry, I didn't ask you. You want some more water?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. I've got hot water, but I'm good to go. Oh, you're underneath now.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Cheers, love. Can't see
yeah.
it, but yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Great stuff. Great.
So on a Friday evening, and this was the first time in my life I really understood TGIF. It never occurred to me before, but teaching is one of the hardest jobs in the planet because you have to be on point. You have to be present every single moment. And on the Friday afternoons, we'd all meet in the bar and we'd just drink and then we'd go for takeaway and then we'd go back to the bar and be dancing. And before you knew it, it was about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then you go to sleep, you'd wake up because your phone never stopped ringing. There was always something going on. So let's go do this. You're right. So let's go do that. You're right. And I'd just go everywhere. As long as I'd had enough sleep, we were going. That was it. It's fine. And so again, I found my little tribe of belonging. They were my pals. And we are still close today. We still write each other emails. And one of my friends got married in Dominican Republic. She'll probably kill me for not remembering which year, but memories. But I went to her wedding and it was absolutely fabulous. Wedding on the beach. Oh, can't beat it. Anywho, but it was so lovely. It was just brilliant. So I was meant to be out there. I was originally going to be there for 3 to 6 months and it ended up being 4 years.
4 years. Can you imagine? You know, I hope as you're listening, you know, now, if you're listening right now, you know, on any of the platforms, whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is you're listening, I can only see some of you that are on LinkedIn because you're sending in questions and stuff. But wherever it is that you're listening to, or if you listen to this on the replay, some key things to take away. You need to be, and you heard it from I'm not the damsel's mouth, not the horse, the damsel's mouth. You have to be so intentional about organizing yourself. You have to really shut out the noise and be intentional about 3 key things when you want to cultivate a new, and this is what I'm learning for myself, even at 60. One, I have to put the one now. 51. You have to be really, really intentional about creating that fabric that I spoke about earlier on, creating that thread of belonging. You've got to, number one, find your tribe, people that get you and people that you are prepared to get as well, because it's a two-way thing. You have to remember that there is no one, there's no mommy, daddy, friend, sister, husband, wife, whatever it is that you have left back home. This is a new life, and the life will be what you make of it. There will be challenges, like Sophia's mentioned. There will be, hola, Brazil. Someone wants to go to Brazil. I like that. We're coming. Hi, Lucas. Hola. And so, you have to be really intentional about that new country that you're going to. You have to tell yourself that you want to make it the best experience ever, in spite of the challenges. It's not going to be like home. So you're not going to be like someone that goes to Tenerife and say, oh, and rather than speaking Spanish, so you're like, oh, don't you understand English? No, no, no. Do that. You've got to imbibe the culture as much as possible without losing yourself. You've got to follow the crowd sometimes. I mean, that story about not knowing, exit. I mean, Czech Republic is not like you can easily see translations on Google Translate. You've got to look for it. It's not like you go to a country and you'll see French, English, and perhaps Spanish. If you go to America, you definitely will see English and Spanish. It's not like that. Czech, you have to look for that language. So if you see people moving in a crowd, you follow the crowd. And that's the way that you were able to find the exit. Can you imagine? That must have been so terrifying. But you made the place your home. You found your tribe. You got people that you communicate with right now. And that's amazing. And as usual, when we're having fun, we're overrun a little bit, but we're having so much fun. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop talking. And I want you, if you can, to give people 5 key points that they can do if they are thinking about, even now at the age of 30, 35, 40, 50, whatever age they may be, if they're thinking about leaving wherever they are and starting a new life. If you might be in technology, like many of us are, we've got backgrounds in technology, and that's, you'll always find something, especially remotely, AI, cybersecurity, project manager, whatever it is, or data scientist, whatever it is, or you might be in some other field, but you're thinking about moving to another country. Give our viewers, our listeners, 5 key tips that will be really, really helpful for them, that if you wished you had done then, that now, sort of thing.
Oh, that's a hard question, Zena.
I try my best to be hard. I've got to really stretch you. Got to
I
stretch.
don't think I just do. That's one of the things I just do. Okay. So I have to take from Prague and apply to Brussels and pretend right. Okay, gotcha. Number 1. Be prepared to, this is in no particular order. Be prepared to spend at least 3 months in the country you're going to without going back home. You have to acclimatize to that country. You really do. Okay. Number 2, if you're going to a country where you do not speak their language, do not expect them to speak English. Learn the basic words, at the very least. And unless you're going to Paris, sorry, Parisians, people are very patient and will so much appreciate you speaking their language.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Always. I mean, there's sometimes when I'm speaking French and I think, no, I didn't say that right. And they'll look at me and they'll smile. It's like they got me, but they didn't say it right. So then they'll say it right for you, and then you've learned something.
Yes.
And they're always willing to learn more English, but you have to be nice and appreciate the fact that their first language isn't yours and you are in their country.
I like that.
Okay.
I love that.
It's really important. And I have to say that is really important, because wherever I've traveled, whether it's on holiday or to work, I always learn the 4 basic words: hello, goodbye, please, and thank you.
Yes.
That's it.
No, goodbye, please, and thank
Please
you.
and thank you. Hello, goodbye, please, and thank you.
Yes.
Any language, any country I go to, those are the 4 words. That's it. Is that number 2?
Number 3. Yeah, number 3 now.
Number 3 now is, okay, so if you're going to another country to work, be prepared to find your friends and your tribe outside of work. Be prepared for that. Because, as you know, working in the UK, if you have a family in the UK, your life is built around your family. That doesn't change when you go to another country. It's not going to be all of a sudden, oh, I'm a newbie, everybody come out with me for beers on a Friday. Not going to happen. Be prepared to find your tribe outside of work.
I like that. Be intentional about that. I like that.
Yep.
That.
Number 4. Hold on. I'm sorry. I have to think about this because I
No, that's all right, because when people are listening, they know that, this hasn't been
have to
scripted. It's come straight
have
from the
to
heart.
extrapolate. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
to extrapolate this one.
that is fine. That's
Um,
so while you're doing that, so learn the 4 words: thank you, please, hello, and bye. Not in your order. Make friends. Be prepared to make friends outside of the people you work with.
mm,
Someone's got a good one there. Elaine, we need to bring you on the show. And it takes time. And number 3 is, be prepared to know that you're in another country. You need to make the attempt to speak their language and not expect them to speak your language. So that's 3 that I've remembered. And number 4.
Number 4 is keep in touch with those you've left behind. Now, for me, self-confessed, I find this difficult because they have their own lives. You're trying to make a life, and the two aren't matching up. And I mean, we're only an hour apart, but how many problems do we have? Yeah, I'll call you at this time. No, I'm doing this. No.
Yeah.
And this is only an hour away.
Yes, and yes, that is so
So,
true. Yeah.
and it's gotten to the stage now where I do have more friends around the world than I do have in the UK. It's at that stage
Mm.
because I've spent so many years out of the UK.
Yes.
But yeah, that's important. Keep your ties in your home country. Keep your ties,
Yes.
because I'm guilty of that. And to any of my friends that are listening, I'm sorry. You know how I
You're
am.
forgiven. You're
Please,
forgiven. You're
I
forgiven.
know, I know, I know. Do you
And the
know?
last one.
Do you know what? I've said find your tribe already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The last one is the grass is always greener on the other side. It always is. So make sure you hold your reasons true for why you are where you are.
Yes.
Hold your reason true. Because for me, it's about working, living, having friends, and taking care of me,
Yes.
which I do with a lot more passion, fun, verve here than I would in the UK.
Yeah.
That's what I hold true to me. The minute it's not fun anymore, I have to go. The
Yeah.
minute it's not fun, I have to go. And I'm not fun, like I said at the beginning, it's not every day that I wake up and it's easy. No. This is everydayness. There are hard days. I still don't want to get out of bed. There are hard days where the sky is grey for days. Days. Yeah. And you think, oh my gosh, I need to see sun. I need da. Yeah. Hold your reasons true. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes. And I'm going to add some that some people are saying in the chat. Enjoy building your new life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it takes time. It does take time. So, give yourself some slack, like we like to say, spare yourself some slack wherever you are around the world. Pat yourself on the back. If you get it wrong,
Can I give you one about it takes time?
yes, please do.
I remember when I went to Prague, and I went in September, went to school, was teaching for a couple of months and came home for Christmas. Came home back to the UK for Christmas, yeah? Okay. And it was like, no, I want to go back. I want to go back. So I went back, okay? And there was one morning, and it was middle of January. It was cold, and we're talking about -5, snow up to your ankles. In fact, no,
Wow.
for me, up to my calves. And I have to, I'm short, and I have to go and teach, right? And I remember trundling through the snow at like 7:30 in the morning,
Sorry,
expletives,
I'm trying to finish now.
expletives. Why did I come back? What am I doing here? Why am I waking up out of my bed at 6 o'clock in the morning to go and teach people? yeah, they're all right. But I'm teaching them and I'm earning 10 times less than I was earning in the UK. What on earth am I doing here? And I said to myself, as I was walking, and it was dark and it was cold, you either find something you like or you go back home. Simples. I had to talk to myself that day.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm hoping that
it takes time.
It does. I'm hoping that everyone that's listening right now, that this has been very, very valuable. We've overrun a little bit. Well, not a very big bit, but I think this was a good one because, I mean, all the shows, episode 1 right up until today, they've all been amazing. Different people from around the world talking about different things, and it's all about extraordinary women doing extraordinary things. And you might be listening right here, you might be thinking, oh, I'm not extraordinary. I can assure you, if I come knocking at your door, you are extraordinary. If you are listening right now, or on the replay, or whenever you listen to this particular episode, I want you to know that you are extraordinary and you can cultivate a beautiful, extraordinary life anywhere you are around the world. It's never too late. Never, never too late. You've heard it from the amazing, phenomenal, incredible Sophia Reed, MBA. We've got a joke behind that, but I have to say it really loud. MBA. She has got an MBA. You know, we did it together, so there's a joke behind it. Maybe on another show. We'll talk about this. Is going back 20 years, but anyway. But the amazing phenomenon. I have to thank you for sharing from the bottom of your heart. Thank you for being so open. Thank you. I know I grilled you and there was, like I said, no scripts and everything, but you rose to the occasion. You've shown the resilience that you have. You've shown the beauty of living in different, jurisdictions around the world and being able to not just live there, but flourish, through all the various obstacles. And it's been a joy, an absolute joy to have you. I'm going to stop now because we've overrun, but I've enjoyed myself as well, and I could do this for another 2 hours. You've got people clapping here. Thank you so much, Elaine and everyone else. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Now, until next time, you're going to have another opportunity of having a cup of tea. It's cold now. With Dr. Z. Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you
very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, your reinvention queen. We hope you've been motivated and inspired to go out there and conquer any obstacles and issues you may face. You can find Dr. Zena on all social platforms. Until next time, remember, you're not alone.